folks. I hope you all are doing absolutely great, and we are really excited for this today's event, Fly Fire with Firebase and Web Technology. So, today, we DSC LPU, Developer Student Club, is going to introduce an amazing person who created a paradigm of the community and helped the community grow at another level. And also, today, we'll be learning a lot of new stuff that how to participate in a hackathon. Being an extraordinary personality who is today with us at President Vaya, we'll be learning a lot of insights and also learning how this learning phase can be done to a productive phase so that we can create a lot of cool projects. And also, I'll be handing over to Mr. Suraj to let us know a little brief of DC Solution Challenge and what is the last deadline, what are the goals that is given in the official portal, and also let all those latest information regarding that. Yeah, Suraj, please can you continue with the updates of DC Solution Challenge 2021, please?
Yeah, so this year Google has organized solution challenge, and in this we have to solve actually UN 17 sustainable development goals with the help of the Google technologies. So in that scenario, we have organized 8 days long technical workshop and question answering session as well. Like from the first day, Praveen Agrawal was there, and renowned speaker were there for various technologies like Angular, Flutter, and all. Like, so I hope that our DSCLPU from DSCLPU we will come in that first 50, so that it will create some impact on us.
So yeah, exactly. So what all Suraj told is that the top 50 contestant all over the globe across India is going to get a lot of surprises from Google team, mentorship, swags and all. And I hope you're already aware that we have already brought a lot of renowned personalities. Like Praveen came for the first day. He created such application that solved a little bit of problem, and he created a paradigm itself in its college. And also we are going to go to see you coming in the top 50 behalf of PSC Solution Challenge and behalf of Lovely Professional University. So coming back to the point, today we are having an amazing personality. Many of also, he is known as Vikraj Singh. He is the organizer of GDG Jalandhar, a Google developer expert in web technologies and Flutter, also a creator, a mentor, and a true guider who always stood by the community, who created a great community from a scratch, and also one of the great person who is very humble towards his community and behalf of having a lot of experience. So today we welcome wholeheartedly behalf of Lovely Professional University, DSC. Good evening, Bhaiya. How are you doing? Please turn on your mic, and we're really blessed to have you today's evening.
Yeah, I'm good, and thank you so much for the wonderful introduction.
How are you doing, Bhaiya?
Yeah, I'm good. Just working off some office work and all.
So we are really happy that you take out your tedious work time and still you managed to come for our community, and it's all yours. Because of you only we managed to survive, and we see a ray of hope for your contribution and what you have done. We see the potential motivation for it. And please, we're looking forward to this event. Please, can we get some info of it? Like, according to you, what will be your first suggestion before starting the session for the all newbies out here, first year students, second year students?
Okay, like for the student, I'll suggest you to go for the basic concept. Like if you have a basic idea about the understanding how we can create an application, maybe it be related to Android, iOS, or any web platform, or if you're working on cloud. So just go for the basic, and if you have an understanding how the basic building blocks are working, then you will be able to create large scale applications and a lot of things. Maybe you can create a project. It's totally depend on you. Maybe you can create open source project, and there are a lot of things that you can do.
And absolutely, Bhaiya. As we got motivated by seeing your journey in physically, because we are offline, there are a lot of students that really don't know how to start with. So would you love to say some tips and your experience towards making hackathon projects, how to get started before we come to the PPT presentation? Please, Bhaiya.
Yeah, for the hackathon, I'll suggest you to do not sigh or something. I cannot participate because I do not have an idea about this platform or something. Like I have no idea about Android, iOS, or web. So just initiate your the things like you can participate, and you have a lot of opportunities if you are participating in the various hackathon. Maybe you will increase your team management skills, development skills within a 24 hours or maybe 36 hours. You will able to create a small applications, or maybe you will increase your skills related to like faster learning experience and all.
Already, Bhaiya, yeah. Already, Bhaiya, we are getting that people are visiting your profile and they're saying you have done really inspiring works, projects, and all. So yeah, so like one of the major topic that comes for every of the newbies, Bhaiya, ki where to start. They are getting puzzled up. Like there are a lot of technologies. Which topic should like do problem solving? Perception should be the basic idea, or technology should be the prime, like fundamental stuff. Like
Both are the fundamental for the developers. So I'll suggest to go for the basic concept, like if you have a basic understanding how the programming fundamentals are working, like if else block, because each programming have a same thing, like we have a if else logic and variable concept. So if you have a basic knowledge of these kind of things, you can do anything. And then like based on the like your basic concept, you will be able to crack your interview and all, and then you can explore the technology. So it's totally upon up to you. Just go for the basic concept, like you can select the C++ or Java or any other language.
And one thing, Bhaiya, like before we proceed to the surprise like PPT that you have created, we would love to know your journey. Like most of you we know, but many of the newbies that don't know, like how you became from a like very normal student to an extraordinary person, and you have done a lot of wonders for the community. How you created that confidence, and how motivated yourself in order to achieve a lot of things, and also motivated thousands of students. Bhaiya, please, can you please give a brief how you started and how you are going this? Please.
Yeah, I did my graduation from the LPU, and from 2016 I get to know about the GDG platform, and then I participated in the GDG event, and then I got to know about the opportunities in GDG Jalandhar, and then I appointed as a co-organizer, and then within 2 months I'll be nominated as an organizer. And then this is a good platform as a community, like for the community, where you can get to know about a lot of things and you will share your knowledge. And then yeah, it's a journey going on.
Yeah, exactly. Suraj, can you want to add something? Suraj Mari.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Like even we are seeing like we are using your like tools that has been developed your team, like Aura and all. Like it's really awesome for us for having that tool. It's really
Thank you.
wonderful.
So apart from going any other direction, yeah, can we start with the presentations that you have like, brought for us?
Yeah, sure.
I think we'll be waiting for everything. A student are waiting for that only. Yeah, please.
Just wait for.
And all the folks out there, if you have any doubts, please keep in the chat box. Keep spamming your problems. We'll be taking the questions in between. But firstly, we'll be taking the PPT first. We'll be learning from it. And don't think that I will be not taking your questions. We'll be taking your questions. Please have patience with us. Please, Bhaiya, please start.
Okay, so hi everyone. Like I'm Rajraj, as you know. Like I'm Google developer expert for web technology and Firebase, and today here I'm going to talk about the Firebase. So let me introduce myself first. Like as you know already, I'm Google developer expert for web technology and Firebase, and also I'm leading a GDG Jalandhar community in Punjab region, and also I'm working on the various web technologies like PWA, Firebase, AMP, Google Chrome, Google Cloud Platform, and I'm also running a YouTube channel named Tech Project. So today I'm going to talk about three things. Like first we'll go to the basic concept of web, basic fundamental, and then we'll go for the Firebase, and then we'll go for the demo part. So like how we can use Firebase and all. So let's start it with the web. Like web has a three core fundamental. Like we have a website, browser, and the server. So what is a website? Website is just like as a collections of web page, and each web page maybe consist of audio file, text file, HTML code, and anything. Each website will have their specific entry page, which is also called as home page. And you can build your website with the help of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and where HTML provides a structure of your web page, and you can design your web page with the help of CSS, and you can like add some creativity or interactivity, or you can perform some actions with the help of JavaScript. So there are a lot of websites like Facebook.com, Google.com, Twitter.com. There are a lot of websites you can search on the web. And the second thing, like you can build your website with the help of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now you need a software where you can run your web page. So that's why a browser came into the picture. So with the help of your browser, you can run your web page. Like with the web page have a rendering engine, and it will render your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code into the DOM element. And after, with the help of DOM element, you'll be able to see your website. And each browser have their specific rendering engine. Like if I talk about Google Chrome having a Blink as a rendering engine, and same for the Mozilla, we have SpiderMonkey as a JavaScript engine. Safari, they are using WebKit. So it's totally depend on the various technologies. Then like we have built a website and we can check our website on our local machine. Now my web page should be accessible to n number of locations or from n number of devices. So that's why we need a server where we can upload our index file, maybe HTML code, CSS code, JavaScript code, or maybe image file, audio file, or text file. So basically server is just like as a computer where you can upload your these file, and from that computer you can access that file through the IP. Okay, so in the market we have three type of server. Like first one is web server, and second one is email server, and the third one is file server. So basically we are using web server is just for the serving a web page over the network. For example, if you open a website like twitter.com, so you are accessing a web page, so that's why we have a web server. So for the web server, we are using a protocol like HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And the second one is we are using email server. So email server we are using just for sending or receiving a mail over the network. So in the email server, we have basically two type of protocol like POP and SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and the Post Office Protocol. And the third one is file server. So basically if you are uploading or downloading a file over the network, so there will be a file server. And these server will be combinations, could be considered as a combinations. For example, if you open your Gmail, like mail.google.com, so first you will be able to see your web page. So that's why we have a web server. And then when you go to the compose button and then click on the send button, so there will be an email server. And in the email, whenever you are trying to upload a file, so there will be a file server. Okay. So this is a basic fundamental for the web. Like if you're working or if you want to start your career in the web technology, so like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then you can build your website, and you can check your website over the browser, and then you can host your website on the server. So this is a basic fundamental, and this is the kind of feeling like ab to paisa hi paisa hoga. But yeah, so like if I talk about in LPU, like every student have a different ideas, wonderful ideas. Like I have also a lot of ideas during my graduation time. So like kabhi lagta tha ki we need to build something. So sometimes you have an idea and you want to create applications, or maybe Android application, iOS applications, or web applications. It's totally depend on you. And then you are a little bit confused about the technical stack, like how you can start your idea, how you can build your applications. So somehow you decided the stack, and maybe you have confused about the database and which database you can work on, or there are a lot of things. But somehow you have decided the stack, like maybe we can go for the Android, and we can go for the database like NoSQL database, where we can use MongoDB. So it's totally up to you. And then you have to write a lot of code in terms of code, and because you have less experience in terms of building the solutions and all. And there might be a possibility like there might be issue related to security, code implementation, managing database, or making it easy to accessible to all the users. So then there is a unified solution that you can use to improve your user experience, rather than focusing on writing a lot of amount of code. So that's why Firebase came into the picture. Okay, so what is a Firebase? Firebase is a unified platform for the developers. Like if I'm an Android developer, I can use Firebase. If I'm working on web platform, I can also use Firebase. If you are working on game development platform, you can use it. So totally independent platform, unified. And like Firebase is providing a lot of services. You just need to use that services in your applications or any other platform. So you just need to focus on the development part and managing the infrastructure, managing the database. These type of things Firebase will take care of it. Okay, so to like Firebase, with the help of Firebase, you can develop high quality, high scalable applications, and you can grow your user base, and you can earn more benefit in terms of user. You don't need to manage the infrastructure like this, writing your business logic. Like you can, for example, if you are creating a Android applications or a web applications, so there is a page for the login screen. So you have to write logic for the login screen. So you don't need to write the logic for the authentication. So Firebase is providing authentication as a service. You just need to use that service. And that's why Firebase is a mission to help the developers succeed. Okay. And one of the best thing about Firebase, like you can use Firebase on multi-platform. Like if you are working on iOS, #Padelo, or if you're working on Android, or if you're working on Flutter, you can use it. And same for me as a web developer, I can use Firebase. Or if you're working on C++, you can also use Firebase in your applications as a database or any other services. And the last one is Unity. Like if you're working on game development platform, so you can also use Firebase. So as I told you, Firebase is providing a lot of services that you can use in your applications or solutions. So each services is categorized into the three main categories. First one is build better application, and the second one is improve your app quality, and the third is grow and engage your user. So if I talk about build better applications, so we have some set of services that you can use in your app solutions. Like maybe you can use authentications. Like if you're working on Android applications, so you don't need to write entire logic or business logic for authentications, like login user, create user, delete user, or update user. So Firebase authentication is providing a lot of auth services that you can use. So there is a set of functionality that you can use in your applications. So similarly, we have a hosting. Like if you're working on web platform, so you have a website, you can deploy your website with the help of Firebase hosting. And the third, we have a cloud functions where you can write your custom APIs or custom business logic. And the fourth, like if you're working on machine learning, you can also use Firebase. And the fifth part, like you can use Firebase as a database. So in Firebase, we have two type of database, like Cloud Firestore, and the second one is real-time database. And the second last, we have a cloud storage. For example, you have a data like image file, audio file, or text file. So you can also upload that data with the help of cloud storage service. And then we have an extension that you can use, which is pre-built cloud functions that you can use. Like sometimes you don't need to write each and every logic. For example, you have created a logic for image upload program. Okay, so user will upload the image, so you have to write a logic for image compression. Like if the user is uploading an image size is around 150 MB, so you need to convert that image to around 10 MB. So you can use Firebase extensions, which is pre-built cloud functions that you can use in your applications. So as you can see, there are a lot of services in build better applications. So similarly, we have improve your app quality. So once we created our solutions, maybe Android, iOS, or any other platform, now we need to improve our solutions. So we have a service like Crash Analytics. This service is for the real-time crash report, and the second one is for the performance monitoring. Like you can get the real-time performance monitoring. For example, in a website like login page, so user need to wait for a 3 second for the login screen. So we have a data 3 seconds, so we can improve that user experience. Like maybe you can improve your code quality. So that's why after a user can wait for a 2 second, and then they can move to the dashboard. And similarly, like in India, if you are working on mobile platform, you just need to test your applications. So you need a lot of devices, like mobile devices. You need to purchase a lot of devices, maybe Samsung, Android, or a lot of things. So that's why you can also use Test Lab, where you can upload your APK file or iOS file, and you can test your applications with the help of Tesla. And the last, in improve your app quality, we have a section for the app distribution. So you can distribute your applications to the n number of distribute app users. Like we have a three type of user group, so you can use that things as a app distribution service. So we have completed two things, like we have built our applications, we can improve our application with the help of improve your app quality as a service. And the third one is grow your engage your user. So we have a sections like services that you can use analytics, like you will get the real-time report about the users, like user is coming from which country, from which device, maybe they are using Android or iOS as an operating system or Windows as an operating system. And same for the predictions, you will get the predictions about like on which particular time slot user may be increase or these kind of things. And also you can send push notification with the help of cloud messaging. And in-app messaging, the same thing, like you can send custom token to the user, like custom messages like, hey, we have some sort of discount for you, so you can also check out. So with the help of in-app messaging, you can do that. And that like we have a remote config, you can config your applications in real time. And the second last, we have a A/B testing, just for two type of set of users, you can test your applications. And then we have a dynamic links. So dynamic links is just like as a deep URL where like for example, if I share a URL on a WhatsApp and the URL is related to your Facebook applications, so once you click on the URL, it will be redirected to the Facebook applications. So we can create this type of URL with the help of dynamic links. So as you can see, there are almost 25 plus different products within a Firebase. So now I'll talk about for the web platform, which product you can use in the web technology. So we have a product like or a services that you can use, like Firebase authentications, Cloud Firestore, real-time database, cloud storage, Firebase hosting, cloud functions, extension, cloud messaging, and the dynamic links. So I'll deep dive into the one by one in this thing. So first thing is Firebase authentications. So I'll give you the simple example. If you're working on web platform or an Android app platform, so you have created a button having a two text field like email, and get your email and the password. So in general way, what you will do, you will write a logic, you will get the data from the input field, and then you will get the data from the database, and you will check if the email ID and the password is matched or something. So you can redirect to the user to the dashboard if the user is real or not. But for the security point of view, you have to write a lot of amount of code for security or managing the infrastructure and all. So that's why Firebase authentication you can use. Firebase authentication is one of the best services that you can use. They are providing a set of functionality. You just need to use that as a method, like you can authenticate your user with the help of Firebase authentications. And Firebase authentication works with n number of third-party service providers. For example, you can use as a like login as a Facebook, login as a Google, login your account as a like with Twitter account, GitHub, and you can also use custom email password authentications. You can also use Firebase authentication as a OTP, like you just need to enter your mobile number and then you will get the OTP number. So you can use it. That's it. So how you can use Firebase? So this is a simple code snippet. Like if you are working on JavaScript or a web platform, so we can create a variable with the help of JavaScript. Like we can create a variable named email and the password. So we have a value. And then for the Firebase, so we have a function. Like now I'll show you the code snippet, like how we can create a user account with the help of email and password. So we have a method create user with email and password. And inside this method, we need to pass two parameters. First parameter is email and the second parameter is password. And that's it. No need to write your entire business logic, like checking the data from the database and everything. Okay. And similarly, next one is for the Cloud Firestore. As you know, like we can use database. So we are using database for storing our data. So in the market, we have a two type of database, like structured database and unstructured database. So we are using structured database. For example, if you have a structured data, like you can store your data in terms of table format, like we have a row and the collections, or we can also call as like MySQL database. This is example for the structure. And the second is if you have a human generated data or machine data or textual data, so you can use unstructured database where they have no schema. So there is an example, like if you are working on in the corporate, like you have to work on the MongoDB, PostgreSQL, Firestore, and there are a lot of things. So Cloud Firestore is one of the unstructured database, and unstructured means a NoSQL database. And like you can use this database very easily. They are providing a set of functions you just need to use. Like in database, you can perform 4 operations like CRUD operation: create, read, update, and delete. And they are providing the set of functions. You just need to call this function. And it's totally serverless architecture. Like you just need to focus on writing your code. No need to manage the infrastructure. No need to manage the database and all kind of things. And it will work as a real time. Like my data is coming from the server, and like this application, like there are 4 users who are accessing our applications. So when I update the data in the database, so within a few seconds, within the real time synchronizations, data will be updated on the multi devices. And one of the best thing about Cloud Firestore is it support offline. Like if you do not have an internet connection, you can still access your data. Okay, so this is an example how we can use Cloud Firestore. So same we have, as I told you, like we have a set of functions for like CRUD operations like create, read, update, and delete. So same for the Cloud Firestore, we have a method named add. Okay, so by calling add method, we can create our data into the Cloud Firestore. So first we need to create a reference. So we have created a reference as a variable DB, and we are using Firebase, and inside Firebase we are using Cloud Firestore. So that's why we have written Firestore. And then we have defined a like as a database reference, and then this is a MySQL database, not MySQL, unstructured database or NoSQL database. So we have a collections and a records. Okay, so collections is just like as a kind of book. Inside book can have a multi pages. Okay, so similarly we have a collections. Inside collections we can have a multiple documents, and each document can have a multiple fields. So similarly we have defined a collections name as a user, and inside collections I'm adding one document. So for adding a document, you just need to use add as a method, and this add method will take as a parameter as an object, JavaScript object. So we can pass this JavaScript object, and yeah, so we can do that with the help of Cloud Firestore. We can add the data. And similarly we have a real-time database. So real-time database is a lightweighter than Cloud Firestore. You can use the same functionality, but this is not a this is also a structured NoSQL database, but it is a lighter weight database as compared to the Cloud Firestore. And it still offers many services or many advantages, such as real-time syncing between the devices and the server, offline support, scalability. It's totally up to you which one services you can want to use. Like maybe you can use Cloud Firestore, or you can use real-time database. And then this is an example, like if you want to store the data into the real-time database, so we have a method, set method. So you just need to call set method, or if you want to read the data from real-time database, you just need to call get method for getting the data, and that's it. And although like the real-time database and the Cloud Firestore are great for the storing the primitive data. Primitive data is just like as a textual data, like we have a string type of data. Sometimes we need to store data like maybe user generated data. So for example, image file, audio file, or text file, any other file. So you can use cloud storage for storing that data. Like you can store audio file, image file, video file with the help of cloud storage service. Okay. And again, there are a lot of service, there are a lot of advantage for using cloud storage, because it is robust, and second one is it is very secure. You can trust on Google, because Google is providing a lot of services. And this is an example how you can upload a file into the cloud storage. So for uploading a file into the cloud storage, we have a method name is put. So inside put method, you need to pass a file. So maybe file can be as a audio file, video file, text file, or any other zip file or rar file. So you can upload it, and with the help of 3 commands, like 3 lines of logic, you can upload. And the last, not the last, like we have another service, like for the web developer, you can use Firebase hosting. So if you're working on web platforms, so you have a website, so you need a server where you can upload your website and where they can serve the web pages. So Firebase hosting is one of the best services for the web developer, where they can serve the dynamic or as well as static content. And your like index file, maybe like HTML code, CSS code, or image file, audio file will be stored in the SSD, not in the solid state like local drive. It will be stored in the SSD. SSD is much more faster than as compared to the regular drive, and your data will be synced with the n number of nearest data center. So your website will be fast, and you can you can use Firebase hosting for the static content. Like static content is just like you have a static website like index file. Inside we have a HTML tag, h1 paragraph, and image file. You can use it. And also one of the best thing about cloud Firebase hosting is you will get free SSL certificate, means HTTPS. Otherwise you need to purchase HTTPS as a free SSL certificate. And Firebase hosting is very easy. You just need to focus on the 3 commands. Like first is Firebase init, and second one is Firebase serve, and the Firebase deploy. With the help of Firebase deploy, you can deploy your website within a few seconds, and that's it. And then as I told you, Firebase is providing a lot of services. So sometimes you need to write your custom business logic. For example, you can write your custom business logic maybe related to REST API or any other things. So you can do that with the help of Cloud Functions, where you can write your custom business logic in JavaScript. And again, this is a truly serverless architecture. Serverless architecture means your code will be stored into the server, but you don't need to manage that code. You just need to focus on the writing your code, and don't need to focus on the managing the infrastructure and all. Because serverless means where you are uploading your HTML or like JavaScript or business logic, you don't need to manage the infrastructure and all. So Cloud Functions is like low maintenance, because you need to focus on the writing your business logic. No need to focus on the managing the infrastructure, like how your code is going to run on all. And this is secure, because you are storing your HTML or like your business logic in data center of Google. And the next service that you can use, Firebase extension. So Firebase extension is just like as a pre-built of Cloud Functions. So like you can write a custom business logic. Like for example, you can write a custom business logic for the image compression, or you can write a custom business logic for sending an email to the user. So you can use like some set of prefix or pre-built set of Cloud Functions within a Firebase. So Cloud Functions Firebase extension is that things like which is pre-built by the Cloud Functions. So like for example, you can use image resize, text translate, syncing with Mailchimp, or triggering a mail. So you can do that with the help of Firebase extension. Next we have cloud messaging. So we are using FCM, Firebase Cloud Messaging, for sending a push notifications. So you can send push notification to the Android device, iOS device, or any other web platform, and it's totally free. You just need a token, and that's it. With the help of there is a functions, you just need to call that functions, and you can send push notifications. And you can decide like X type of user you want to send a push notification to X type of push notification, and Y type of user for B type of push notification. You can divide your users. You can group your users. Whatever you want to do, you can send a push notification, and it's totally free. And as I told you, like we can create a dynamic links. So dynamic links is just like is one thing for the developers, like they can create a certain URL. You not need to write your custom business logic or creating a certain URL. So with the help of dynamic links, you can create a certain URL, and same for dynamic links also used for, like for example, I have created Android applications, let's say Bridgeraj, and you don't have a Android application installed in your device, and if I share a URL, so if when you open this URL, so it will ask like you do not have a Android application for accessing this URL. So you will be redirected to the Google Play Store, and then you need to install the Android application. Then you will be able to see the URL. So you can do that with the function with the Firebase dynamic links. So in summary, you can use Firebase for web with these tools or the services. Like you can use Firebase authentication for authenticating the user, or you can use Firebase as a database where we have a cloud file store and the real-time database. Or if you have a human-generated data, like such as image file, audio file, or text file, you can use cloud storage. And you can also deploy your website as a Firebase hosting, and you can write your custom business logic with the help of cloud functions, or there are pre-built set of cloud functions that you can use with the help of Firebase extension. And if you want to send push notifications, so maybe you can use cloud messaging. And for the certain URL and like for the Android applications or iOS applications, you can use Firebase dynamic links. So this is a pre-package for the web developers. Like you can do anything, like you can use these services and you can build a large scale applications. So now I'll show you how we can create simple web applications with the help of these services. So let's start it. So how we can create. So let's suppose like if you have handling a community, let's say DSC LPU. So we will create a simple event registration page. So how we can create an event registration page? What we can do, we can create an index file, let's say index.html page having a 3 field like name, email ID, and there is a button, and that's it. So we have 2 fields, name, email ID, and there is a button for the registration. Now you can also add a functionality like only authenticated user can fill the registration form. So you can use Firebase authentications, or maybe you can use inside Firebase authentication, you can authenticate the user with the help of Google account, or you can write a custom business logic like first user need to authenticate with the help of email and password, and after authentication is done, user can see the registration form. Okay, so now user has authenticated with the Google account, and user can see the registration page. When the user will add like fill the date form and then click on the registration button, so you want to store it that data, so you can store that data into the cloud file store. And now your the data, user data is stored into the cloud file store. So then you can trigger you can write a custom business logic for sending mail like thank you so much for the registrations. So you can write a custom business logic with the help of cloud functions. So you can send a confirmation mail like thank you so much for the registration, and we will contact you in the day before the event. And then you can deploy your that HTML code on Firebase hosting, and that's it. Now like up to maja aa gaya, like we can create this kind of things. And yeah, and there are a lot of organizations, if I talk about companies like New York Times, Atlassian, Critics, CBS, Code Academy, there are a lot of companies who are using Firebase in any way. And yeah, Firebase is amazing tools for the developers. You just need to focus on the front end part, and as a back end part, Firebase is providing a lot of services. You just need to use that services. And again, Firebase is just like as a pehle istemal kare fir viswas kare, just you will get you just need to explore the things, and you will get an idea, and then you will deep dive into the Firebase, and then you will be familiar about the developer ecosystem of Firebase. And to know more about Firebase, you can check out the link like firebase.google.com. And yeah, and for the resources like Adhik Jankari ke liye, so you can check out the Firebase documentations. Like you just need to go to the website like firebase.google.com, and then there is the docs. And also I have created a repository for the web developers how they can use Firebase. So we have created a code lab, and similarly I have written a Medium article for the Firebase, and also I have created a set of videos, a playlist for the Firebase, so you can also check out the video. And yeah, I'm also running a YouTube channel, so you can check out the YouTube channel named Tech Ferment on YouTube. And there is one more thing, like as a GDG organizer, and there one more, like in our GDG Jalandhar community, we have a WTM ambassadors. So we are conducting International Women's Day India Summit. This is a great opportunity for you. This one is for everyone, like every gender. And there are a lot of Googlers who are coming, like product manager, product marketer, and there are engineering director of Google India will be going to talk about how you can start your career with the help of technical opportunities and all. So you can check out the website like iwdindia.in. You can register, and the event is on 20th and 21st of March. So it's time for the questions. So yeah.
Exactly, Bhaiya. It was a wonderful, 10 to 12 hours content, concise in the form of 40 minutes. Exactly. So we have, sorted a lot of questions in a stack. So before we proceed to the question of our fellow audience, I have a question, Bhaiya, for you. Like often developers, those who develop in mobile application development, they are saying that many of the people are moving towards Cloud Firestore, Firestore. So what is the basic difference, like Google Fire, like runtime Firebase and like Firestore? Nowadays, Firestore is coming in popular.
Yeah, so Cloud Firestore, if you are working on Cloud Firestore, so there are a lot of features. You can customize your queries, and there is you can store your data in terms of collections and the documentation, docs. And if you're working on real-time database, so we have a basin type of structure, like we have a tree-like structure, and inside we have a nodes. So you can create n number of nodes, which is very difficult to manage the data as well as manage the user. So for this like simple application, you can use real-time database, or if you are creating a complex application, so I'll suggest you to go for the Cloud Firestore.
Exactly, Cloud Firestore. Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm having one question from a fellow audience. Can Django does well with Firebase? Like, can we integrate like Django with Firebase? Can we use that?
Yeah, Django and Firebase is different thing. Like Django is a backend framework. With the help of Django, you can write your custom like APIs or entire backend applications. So you can use Firebase services like authentications. You can integrate Django with the Cloud Firestore. You can use, so you can do that.
Okay, so another question from our fellow audience is that, sorry folks, I'm not taking any name. As said, in Firebase, we don't have to code much, like compared to else. How it works differently and efficiently other services, like compared to other services?
Yeah, like for if I talk about as a developer perspective, like for example, if I have an idea about a startup, okay. So what I have to do, I have to focus on the application part, like the developing of front-end applications, and then I need to focus on the back-end part. So back-end part is one of the toughest tasks for the developers to manage the infrastructure, which technology they have to use, and which database they have to work on. So that's why Firebase is providing a platform where developers need to focus on the front-end part, like designing an interface maybe related to web technology or Android or iOS. You just need to focus on the user interface parts, and you just need to integrate that services. Like if you're working on database, you just need to use that database service. If you're working on authentications, you can use it.
So basically, Bhaiya, it's actually reducing the time and manual efforts. One question, Suraj, can you take it, Suraj? Yeah, of Nirbhay. Can you see it, Suraj?
Yeah. No, next one question is from I think Bisal Tiwari. So the question is, does Firebase also provide APIs to bind our apps with our backend service?
Yes, you can. They are providing a set of APIs that you can use, or you can create your custom APIs with the help of Cloud Functions. You can write those APIs, REST APIs. I can share the video of how we can create our APIs with the help of Firebase.
Another question from Bhaiya, like, can we use SQL in Firebase? Different question.
Yes, Firebase is just like as a platform. They are providing a lot of services. So you can use SQL as a database. So like if you do not want to use Cloud Firestore as a database or real-time database, you can use like SQL as a database, and you can use remaining services like authentications and
Another question: can we use Firebase or like authentication with other frameworks such as Laravel? Like these
yeah.
frameworks?
Yes, you can use it. Like Firebase is just like as a set of functionality, like set of functions. You just need to use that functions. Like if you they are providing a set of functions for the authentication. So like you want to use auth service, so you can use it in any service. Like you can use with
Uh,
Jetcode, C Sharp, or any other things.
Yeah, Suraj, please go on.
okay. So next question is again from Bisal Tiwari that Firebase is automatically encrypting our passwords that is sent on that auth
Yeah.
section.
Okay.
You can write on that thing because Google. Yeah.
Exactly. Uh, Another question we have, a lot bigger question, that how to use Firebase for authentication using third-party services. Small idea to or steps that we can have to follow for authentication.
Okay, so for like applying of authentication as a service in our applications, maybe web or iOS or Android, so you just need to go to the Firebase console, and then you need to create a project, and then go to the authentication as a service. And there are a lot of third-party authentication service provider like Google, Twitter, GitHub. So you just need to enable that service, and that's it. Enable kar diya, and then we have a functions. Like if you want to use Google as a sign-in third-party service provider, so there is a method sign in with pop-up, and that's it. So inside sign in with pop-up, you have to invoke that function, and there will be a pop-up window, and then we have to select which Google account you want to authenticate, and
So
that's it.
basically, Bhaiya, you're suggesting that they should be going to the documentation portal, or they can also visit your article and channel for better
Yeah.
understanding. Yeah. Yeah, Suraj. Next question can we take, Suraj, from you?
Yeah, next question I think it is discussed like how do we decide when to use real-time database or Firestore?
When to use Firebase? Great question. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
want to say something? Yeah, please.
For real time, so like if you're planning a small scale applications, like you are creating a user directory kind of applications, so maybe you can use real time database. But if you're creating a large scale or complex applications, then I'll suggest you to go for the Cloud Firestore.
Okay.
Like for
Yeah.
example, there is a like push notification kind of sections. So for sending a push notification, you need to generate a user token ID. So maybe you can store that user token ID with the help of real-time database, and then you can store the user details in the Cloud Firestore.
Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah, Suraj, you're telling something, Suraj?
Next question is from Sukhdeep Singh Dillon that how does Firebase handle server scaling when user large? Does optimally gets affected in that scenario also? Like,
Okay, like Firebase is a like small part of Google's cloud platform. So if you have a knowledge of Google Cloud, means the cloud computing platforms, if we have a fundamental availability, scalability, and load balancing. So we have a concept of load balancing. So if there are a lot of users, so it will automatically scale your database or maybe scale your business logic. You just
Yeah.
don't need to manage the infrastructure or writing your custom business logic. So you just need to write your like code and deploy it, and that's it.
Sense. Another similar question, Bhaiya. I'll be taking like Isha is asking, Isha Srivastava, can Firebase be used to build very scalable application, like large application like like Instagram and WhatsApp, like those who are having a large database across the globe, and we are using it so often, so quick, every minute and a second. So what's your point, Bhaiya?
There are a lot of companies in India as well as outside India who are using Firebase for the productions. Like if you go to the Go, IBGO, or Khan Academy, who is working on Firebase. So you can trust, like if these organizations are using Firebase, so you can build anything. Even Google is working on Firebase. It's a Google product.
Exactly. Yeah, Suraj, for you, a question from your end, please. Uh, I can see. Can I integrate my WordPress database with Firebase? Like someone asked in the chat.
Yes, you can use. Just need to import the library for the Firebase. Like first, you need to import the library. I'll suggest you go for the documentation, and here, like you will get to know about how we can import the library, and then you need to call the functions like from which services you want to use, like authentication, database, or cloud messaging. So you can use it.
I hope people you are getting the point from Vikas Bhaiya is saying everything, each and every detailed explanation. Yes, Suraj, like any question from you, Suraj? Okay.
Yeah, next question is from I think Tripti Sharma. I think that is, can we connect our own domain's name to Firebase for free?
Yeah, Firebase hosting is free for the lifetime, and this is one of the best part. I'm also hosting a website on Firebase. So you just there is a section connect domain, and then you need to enter your domain name, and then you need to add your a record or in the DNS server, and that's it.
Yeah, while building an application, is it worth using Firebase as a backend, or will it become more expensive and unmanageable when if you grow? Like once you grow, you need to completely change your architecture to another platform, like differently. So, what is your point, Bhaiya? Like as a backend?
Yeah, this question is good. Like you just need to focus on the planning part, like how you can start your working on applications. Like maybe you can work on the Firebase, so you have to design the infrastructure like related to Firebase, like if the user will scale or your applications will grow, so how you can easily manage that things. And there is no restrictions, like you can use Firebase. Like Firebase is just like as a platform. You are storing as a data, or you are storing as a authentications. You are using as a authentication as a service, so it's totally up to you. Like you can also scale your user or applications.
So is it like same way, like they are giving multiple options and as a menu, which one you need to eat, you can take it, and the more you take, the more you want to pay. So there's a trial version.
Yeah, pay as a service, like pay as a Google. Like this is the same fundamental for the Google Cloud, but like if you go to the free trial account, like you can access like Firebase hosting is free, Cloud Firestore is free, Cloud Functions you just need a premium account, but most of the services are free for the user, and there is a limit number of invocations.
Like yeah, it's like if I'm not wrong, I might be wrong. In Google Cloud storage, they get a credit of 300, like $300 like something. So for a newbie, they can go for it. Like what your suggestion? They can try to go and explore that. Yeah, Suraj, do you have any questions, Suraj?
No, for no.
Yeah, another question from Himangshi Talukdar. Firebase is we can only use for web application. I think Bhaiya has already explained. Okay, we want to say something, Bhaiya. Like, our question is
no. Like Firebase is like free. You can use any platform. Like if you're working on Android, iOS, Flutter, or you're building mobile application with the help of Flutter or Ionic, or there are a lot of things for mobile app development. You can use Firebase. Or if you're working on web platform, you can also use Firebase. If you're working on C++, you can also use Firebase. Or if you're working on game development platform like Unity, you can also use Firebase.
Like one of the questions from Sanu Kumar is that any best resource to learn mean stack development, web development?
Okay, yeah. So for mean stack development, we have mean for M for MongoDB, E for Express, and E for Angular, and N for Node. So I'll suggest you to go for the basic fundamental of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You can go to the w3school.co school, and where you get to know about the basic fundamental of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then you can explore to the Angular part. You can go to the Angular documentation, which is very easy as of now for the developers. So you just need to explore the documentation. And then you can go for the Node.js, and then you can go for the Express, and then you can also go for the MongoDB.
Okay. Bhaiya, one question is from my side. Like, what is remote config in Firebase? Like, can you explain in like some
easy terms? Like
okay. Yeah, remote config is just like as a, like for example, I think there is two.
Eco.
Okay. Okay, remote config is just like as a, for example, I have a startup and I have created APIs of version 1 with the help of Cloud Functions. Okay, now my user is using that APIs version 1. Now I need to check the API of version 2, how user are using that services and all. So we can use remote config in the real time, like some set of users, like we can go for the v1 version and v2 version. So you can do that. You can change the configurations of your Firebase project or services in real time in some set of users. You can do that in a simple way.
Another question, Megha, like it's off topic. Previously, claimed like Hardik Kaushik, why do you always prefer Vue.js in your projects other than any other framework? Any specific reason?
There is no specific reason, but it's totally up to you. Like I'm pretty much comfortable with Vue.js because Vue is very easy and it's a lighter weight framework as compared to the Angular and the React. So it's totally up to you. Like you in the corporate, you have to focus on the three basic front end framework or a library. So like try to be a flexible person. Like if you're working on Vue.js, not stick like I'm looking for a job in Vue.js. So try to focus on become a flexible person. You can be able to work on React, Angular, or as a backend developer.
Yes, Suraj. You want to ask something, Suraj?
Yeah, one question is from my side. Like, does Google use this Vue.js also, like, or they are using Angular?
No, Google is a company like they are using all of the framework like Angular, Vue, and React. Like if you go to the website like career.google.com, which is built on Vue.js, there are a lot of microservices in the Google Cloud. They are using Vue.js, and if you go to the website like firebase.google.com, which is built on React, not React, Angular, there are a lot of websites which is also built on React. So it's totally up to you. I'll suggest you to do not go to the which one is better as compared to the React, Vue, or Angular. So try to explore three things in your college life, and then in the corporate life, you have to become a flexible person. Like there is a project related to Vue, so we have to work on Vue, and if you're working on like React, so we have to work on React.
We have a question from Pushpendra Tripathi, a random developer. He is asking, in-app distribution through Firebase, is this service only for beta service or we can use it for production level?
Yes, you can use for the production layer as well. As of now, the SDK is updated into the version 2. You can use it. There will be no issue. Like if some of the services are in the beta, but you can use it for the productions.
That's great, Megha. As we are running out of time, I can see like we need to wrap up, but we'll be taking few more questions. So folks, if you're interested clearing your doubts from the expert itself, you'll not get this opportunity afterwards. So please shoot down your message. We'll be taking 1 or 2 more queries. And before we take it, one question from my side, Megha, like in the journey of a development, in the journey of in a hackathon, in a journey of growing something inside of you, all newbies face one problem. While learning, they get deviated for learning like new different things each and every day. So your suggestion would be hunt and explore each and every topic, or stick to one and decide like whether app, web, or cloud. What will be your suggestion? Like any of the tips to the newbies?
Okay. Yeah. For that, what I'm doing, whenever I learn a new language or technology, I created a project based on these things. So this is the one of the best way. For example, अगर आपने Ruby सीखा है, Ruby language, so you will create a project and you will get to know about all the concept of Ruby, and in the portfolio you can show like you have experience with Ruby language and this is a project. So try to do not confuse on various technology or a platform. So try to explore the technology one by one. Like first go to the Ruby, or go for the basic fundamental, like we are working on web platform. So just go for the basic fundamental HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then you can go for the front end like Angular, React, Vue. Or if you're working on database, so we have a lot of database, so maybe you can go for the SQL, MongoDB, and there are a lot of things. Or if you're working on backend development, so we have a framework like Node Express, Node, or Django, and Laravel, and a lot of things.
Yeah. One more question from my end, Bhaiya, is that you have been to many hackathons, you have mentored many students for hackathon, you have also been judged for many hackathons. So in a hackathon, what is the main criteria as a judgment? Like many people are going to solve in DSC solution challenge. So what is your suggestion? Like in order to make a project, which are the 3 or 4 things they should be keeping in a mind while making the project, according to you?
Okay, so like I agree, there will be a lot of challenges while participating in the hackathon. Like maybe you are unable to write a code, maybe you are like untrained, or maybe you have no idea how to write a code in the Android platform or any other things. So first thing, like try to focus on your idea and what you want to build. Like focus on your idea, like the use case, test case, what will be the output. Most of the developer in the hackathon or students is working on developing a solution, but they don't have a clear visual ideas like what they are building. So focus on the idea first, like what will be the outcome, what will be the input, what will be the cost of your entire solution, and what will be the reliability and availability, or in terms of business marketing approach and all.
Yeah. Okay.
Solution is very easy. Just focus on the idea part. Like you have to clear if you have a basic understanding of your idea, like what is going to become a solution and all.
Okay, one last question from my side. Like, I was having some confusion. Like, can we use React in this DSC solution challenge, as it's clearly mentioned that we have to use only Google technology? So, is it like we get?
I'm also one of the mentor for the DSC solution challenges for the year 2021 and 2022 also. And like you can use any technology, but try to focus on the like Google technology, Google Plus product. Like you, if you're working on React, so maybe you can use Firebase or Flutter. You can use it.
Okay.
Or Actions, Dialogflow and
all. Before we wrap up, Bhaiya, can we please have your YouTube channel link and your any Twitter link? People are asking me like DMs, so that they can get to know about something under your guidance and all. They can connect with you for the future. Can you please share article?
We will share that in mail also, like for all the speakers, or like that.
Yeah.
So that you all can.
And before wrapping up, Bhaiya, one last question from my end, our entire DSC is that what will be your suggestion in order to come up from the like demotivation? You always get disconnected while we are working, all the hardship that we face, all the demotivation we face in order to grow, like how to come up and how to stay motivated in the long run.
Okay. So, yeah, this is natural thing. Like you are not a robot. Like there will be up and down. So you have to focus on the positive part. Also, you can focus on the negative part. But one thing you just need to focus on, like you have to learn from your failure, and that's it. So like failure, like the stage of failure is very necessary, because you will learn a lot about the things like how you can grow and how you can step up and many more things. So just create a like goal, and you have to achieve that goal within a set of time period. And yeah, there will be a up and down, but yes, you have to be a positive.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, as being said from Mr. Vrigraj Singh, Google Developers Expert, Firebase and Web Technologies, we are really happy to have you, sir. And for us, it's your Bhaiya. So, I hope you all have cleared your doubt. And for further clarification, you can reach to Vrigraj Bhaiya, as mentioned, portals, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the YouTube channel. I would like to thank entire DC Community Developer Student Club, Lavie Professional University, for organizing such an amazing event. My fellow colleagues, Suraj, Isha, Sharanya, Anish, and also our very own DSC lead, Bhavesh Mali, and our esteemed guest, Vrigraj Bhaiya, for giving such an amazing time from his tedious job. So we're really happy to have you, and all the best for all the contestants those who are moving forward to have the DC Solution Challenge. Thanks a lot for everybody staying with us, and again, a special thanks to Vrigraj Bhaiya. Thanks a lot. Signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.